Welcome to this explainer. Today we are taking a seriously dynamic journey through Surah Yasin, which is a central and just highly revered chapter of the Quran. Now, we aren't just going to look at isolated verses here. We're going to explore a deeply connected, overarching narrative. By breaking down its core arguments, its really striking historical parables, and the vivid imagery it uses for both the cosmos and the afterlife, we're going to see exactly how it aims to completely awaken the human mind. Let's get right into it. Okay, so here's our roadmap for today. We're breaking this profound text down into 6 distinct themes. Number 1, the message and invitation to truth. 2, the story of a town. 3, signs in the universe. 4, judgment day. 5, heaven and hell. And finally, number 6, the absolute power of God. All right, section 1, the message and invitation to truth. So the whole point of this narrative is to awaken a society that's basically trapped in spiritual negligence. It kicks off with this incredibly powerful warning to a people whose ancestors were left completely in the dark, totally unaware. I want you to imagine a society completely blocked off from the truth. They're stubborn. It's like they have heavy shackles right up to their chins, so they can't look anywhere but up. And there are these immense, insurmountable barriers placed in every single direction. It's a very vivid metaphor, right? A community entirely closed off from guidance and just desperately in need of a massive wake-up call. Moving right along to section 2, the instructive story of the town. Now, this part brilliantly illustrates how conflict escalates. Picture this. 2 messengers are initially sent into this town, but they're quickly and flat-out rejected. So a 3rd messenger is sent in to back them up, but the townspeople, they just dig their heels in even deeper. They start claiming these messengers are nothing but ordinary men bringing bad luck or bad omens. The hostility gets so intense they actually threaten to stone them and inflict a painful punishment. But then, right at the absolute peak of this hostility, a single incredibly courageous man comes running from the farthest end of the city to defend them. So this believer rushes in from the edge of the city, and his plea to his people is just so simple and beautifully logical. He says, "O my people, follow the messengers." He's basically begging them to look at the facts. He points out that these guides aren't asking for a single dime. They want 0 reward, and they are clearly rightly guided. He asks his community, why in the world shouldn't I worship the very creator who made me? He highlights the pure irrationality of relying on these other entities that literally have no power to save or benefit anyone at all. While despite this courageous believer ultimately being welcomed into paradise, the ending for that mocking town is incredibly swift. And here's the crazy part. There was no grand cinematic army sent down from heaven to fight them. It simply wasn't necessary. It was just a single terrifying blast, and boom! They were completely extinguished, wiped out in an instant. It's a pretty sobering lesson on the rapid, real-world consequences of arrogant rejection. That brings us to section 3, signs of power in the universe. What's really fascinating here is how it uses perfectly logical, everyday, natural phenomena as undeniable proof of a higher design. Look around us. We see the dead, barren earth revived to produce the grain we eat, bursting out with fresh springs and lush orchards of dates and grapes. And then it draws our attention upwards to the sky, tracking the intricate phases of the moon, which actually diminishes over the month until it looks just like an old curved date stalk. And finally, think about the oceans. Humanity and all our offspring are carried safely across these massive, violent seas in loaded ships. It frames this as a pure mercy that prevents us from just drowning in the deep. You see this majestic cosmic order? It's not random, not at all. It's a meticulously calculated system. The sun literally cannot catch up with the moon, and the night cannot outstrip the day. Everything swims along in an exact, pre-calculated orbit designed by an all-knowing, almighty creator. This flawless, perfect synchronization in the universe is presented as absolute, undeniable proof that a supreme intelligence is at the helm of it all. Let's dive into section 4, the scene of Judgment Day. So human skepticism is confronted right head-on here. Think about this for a second. Man is created from a mere drop, right? Yet he grows up to be this clear, vocal opponent, constantly arguing and somehow completely forgetting his own miraculous creation. The text gives this vivid image of a man holding up crumbling, decayed bones and challenging the messengers, saying, "Come on, who is possibly going to give life to these?" And the definitive answer to that skepticism is presented through the striking, sudden imagery of the trumpet. People are going about their daily lives, arguing in the marketplace, when suddenly Just one single blast. It seizes them. There won't be any time to quickly make a will or even run back to say goodbye to your family. Then the horn is blown again, and instantly, sliding out from their graves, all of humanity will race toward their Lord, crying out in panic, "Woe to us! Who has raised us from our sleeping place?" In that terrifying moment, they'll realize this is exactly what had been promised to them all along. No way around it. Which leads us directly into Section 5, the fate of heaven and hell. Here we are shown a really sharp, undeniable contrast. On one side, you have the ultimate tranquil reward for those who actually listened. Believers and their spouses relaxing in cool shade, reclining on comfortable thrones, having whatever fruits they could possibly desire, and getting the ultimate honor, a direct greeting of peace from a merciful Lord. But on the flip side, the criminals are commanded to stand apart, and the most mind-blowing detail of this ultimate justice, their mouths are literally sealed shut. They can't speak. Instead, their very own hands start talking, and their feet bear witness to everything they earned in life. I mean, there is absolutely no denying the truth when your own limbs are testifying against you. Finally, we reach Section 6, the absolute power of Allah. Answering that earlier arrogant doubt about the decayed bones, the narrative reminds us of something so fundamental. The one who created them at the very first time will easily, effortlessly give them life again. Look at the incredible paradoxes in nature around us. Blazing fire can be drawn from something as incredibly unlikely as a wet, green tree. If the Creator can do that, and if the Creator can fashion the massive heavens and the complex earth, well, recreating a human life from dust is entirely, effortlessly, within His limitless capability. Everything we've talked about today culminates in this single, just awe-inspiring concept. Whenever the Creator intends for a thing to exist, the command is simply be, and it instantly becomes. No struggle, no delay. It is the absolute purest definition of ultimate, effortless power over the entire universe. So, we arrive at the perfection of the one in whose hand is the dominion of literally all things, and to whom every single one of us will eventually return. Which leaves us with a deeply personal, somewhat haunting question to think about. When that day actually comes, and the physical world as we know it is totally gone, what exactly will your own hands and your own feet testify about you? Thank you so much for exploring this profound journey with me.